Hello everyone and welcome back to Gamers Elf's Loft. Sit back, relax, listen to me ramble. We all know problem players. Some people have been around them, others have been the problem players. But have you ever had a problem player know they were the problem? It's very shocking to see it happen. We all know them as people with no faults, without issues, without problems. But it takes a lot and says a lot about the problem player when they realize they are the problem. Now, it may not be during the game or throughout the campaign, but it does show a lot, and as a sign of growth, when someone does realize these behaviors and tries to correct them, or at least self reflects. Today, we have a story about just a problem player that didn't realize through the game, but after that they were indeed a problem player. But that is growth to me. Also, this story is a bit long because of the clips I had to make are in big paragraphs, but we'll make it work. Now, sit back, relax, listen to me ramble. Today's story comes from RPG Horror Stories from Jazz Like Arms 6952. D&D horror story, but I'm the problem player. This story is about the only real game I was in and how I basically ruined it on accident. I say real because I had one other game under my belt, which was just a few sessions with a group of friends before college because it was causing it to wither away. I fully confess that yes, I was the issue. I don't excuse what I did, and I take full responsibility for what happened. I just think everything, on all fronts, could have been handled way better. Hopefully, this can be a bit educational to anyone new. I won't tell you the party because it isn't about the specific incident, but rather a bunch of blunders of mine that killed the game. Wind back a few years ago, I found a little group of players and joined up. I barely knew what I was doing, I had no real material besides the player's handbook, and ended up borrowing dice, minis, and pencils for the first couple sessions. Session 0 went great, and I got comfortable around the group really quickly. It was surprising because I'm cripply shy and nervous as hell about joining. The first issue to me was twofold. The setting and my character just didn't click, and I hadn't learned how to roleplay properly at all. I made an Aarakocra paladin folk hero, and the idea was he was a bubbly, naive do-gooder that just wanted to be friends with everyone and make people happy. It was kind of playing the fact that he was 3, age of Aarakocra has reached maturity, so while he was an adult, he had basically no real-world experience since he was pretty much sheltered for his whole life. His folk hero background was from the time he joined the levy and bravely defended his village when the enemy count came to conquer it. His courage against overwhelming odds brought the attention of the church, which is what got him started on the path of being a paladin. I got comfortable with the RP side of things yet. He ended up just being pretty quiet and direct. Secondly was everything else. The setting was pretty grimdark one. He had a rivalry with another PC, and he got cursed. Lore-wise, different, but mechanically, he was essentially a vampire. So he just spent most of his time in the whole campaign being upset and angry. In this respect, I just need to RP better. Combat-wise, I hated it. This would result in some absolutely cursed luck and class/world incompatibility. 95% of our adventures were in these cramped, narrow dungeons with just enough space for the party to move. I had taken a flying race. Flying was used basically once ever in the entire campaign, and a steed. I never gotten to use either due to the environment. I think I burned a feat on mounted combat, so that bummed me out. The dice loathed me. I got a bunch of natural 20s in the very first session, then proceeded to roll horrifically for the rest of the campaign. I missed a staggering amount of attacks, failed most saves, and rolled a ton of 1s, fumbling, hurting teammates, and damaging my own weapon over and over. Most fights I would spam Divine Smites whenever they landed. Otherwise, I burned all my turns, and was constantly on the brink of death every single encounter. Compared to everyone else, our barbarian kicked ass, and most other players were ranged. In these cramped dungeons, I got the absolute shit kicked out of me. It got old fast. I got really tired of it. Over and over, I underperformed and could barely survive while the rest of the party seemed to be doing just fine. If we were using normal rules, I would have died repeatedly. Hours and hours, months on end, it never changed. I don't know why, but I couldn't seem to shake it off. Every now and then I'd suddenly roll well and smash an encounter, then go back to being the whipping boy. Eventually, I got into a duel with the barbarian, and surprise, surprise, I lost. I did some decent damage on him, but it just reinforced that I seemed to be the weakest character in the group by a long shot. Why was I here? Finally, in another encounter, everyone killed all the enemies in the room except me. I was missing a skeleton repeatedly. I was sick of wasting so much time because of my garbage rolls. This is the biggest, worst thing I did. To save time and just to go faster, I cheated my roll. Doing a quick cut to the video here and saying that most of the views are from non-subscribed people. It would really help me out as a creator in this space if you could leave a like and comment on my videos. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out and shows me that people actually like my content. So if you could ring my subscription bell and smack that notification bell, you would know when my videos come up. It would also very greatly help me. Now, let's get back to the story. Now, OP, I get cheating rolls because we want to go faster and making the combats go smoother and have more time. I get that. But cheating rolls is a slippery slope. Very slippery slope. So I'm glad that you are admitting it, and yes, you probably did get caught or you didn't get caught. I don't know. You can't be doing that. Just roll with the punches, unfortunately. Your party's having a good time. Yes, you're not doing great in the encounters, but your party's still there. You haven't died. Yes, you're getting hurt, but if you haven't died over and over again, just work through it. You will have better luck. I promise you. Yeah, I got caught. Somehow, I didn't get booted out. The group was starting to get close outside of the game, and we were meeting up to hang out, so I guess I had some grace that saved me that time. I really liked these guys, and by the end of the campaign, I consider them close friends. The attempt to cheat haunted me, though. I cannot stress enough how much of a blunder this way. I think it really was what blew it. Fast forward, and the barbarian actually dies. I revive him, and he's mad about it, in character. He had been humiliated by falling in combat and wanted to stay dead. Yeah, no matter what this paladin tried to do, it always backfired. His little hometown with his friends and family got burned down later on. He had little reason to be anywhere or do anything. Barbarian mentioned that since he was so weak, it's a little surprised he couldn't protect his village. My character stormed off from the dungeon that session because I couldn't think of a way to reconcile that comment while staying in character. So I, by choice, powered the sand for a whole session. I almost had him abandon the campaign and leave. Ouch. No, I get that. That hurts. And there is no getting around that, unfortunately. Because one, that's really good roleplay for the barbarian, taking in their pride and taking into account of what's been happening in story from your character. I get that, but that hurts so bad because it's so true. And yes, unfortunately, having your character leave would probably be like the best thing for that character for how they're going, and you could roll a new character, but also sticking with it is so much better. Sticking with it means that if things go right, and they will go right, that all the more happens, and all the more your character gets to shine. After roughly a year of playing, we skipped to the final encounter, leveling up about a dozen times. The reason was that 2 players had work obligations, so we had to cut the campaign short. Looking back, it was because of me. We killed the final boss. I really didn't help, and when I attempted to revive party members that died in the fight, they chose to not be revived. The paladin was essentially an embarrassment the whole campaign, and I'm mad at myself for squandering him. Some of it was just really bad luck, though. We parted ways, and that's that. Later on, I joined a new game. Surprisingly, some of the players from the last one are joining up too. I was kind of excited. I rolled up a character with some feedback from the DM, and I'm looking forward to it. Suddenly, I get a message from him. Apparently, there's some issues you have with the other players. What? No? What do you mean? This is when I got a big list of all my problem plays from the previous players. The cheating is, of course, 100% all me. I know that. What I didn't expect was the other complaints. I was rude, I was annoying, I tried to cheat players out of money by forgetting to pay when we ordered dinner. I forgot one time that I paid them next time we met up. I ate and drank everyone's food and drinks every session. I ate and drank snacks that I brought and shared them. And I was a terrible role player. I was removed from the new session. This actually devastated me. I lost sleep over this. I considered everyone in the group my friend, and to realize they didn't really like me, just tolerated me, crippled me. For weeks, I was staying up wondering why I was such an idiot and how I ruined everything. I'm extremely shy and deathly afraid of such situations. Even when we were friends, I was still hesitant sharing personal details. Trying out D&D was a massive step outside my comfort zone, and afterwards I felt worse than when I started. I admit I'm kind of insecure and a bit paranoid that I annoy people, and then they probably just put up with me. To find out it was actually true this time, it made me a complete wreck afterwards. I actually really understand this, and I am sorry that it happened. Again, session 0 is where things come up, where if things happen or things happened previously, you bring them up and understand them and have the whole group understand rules and to do rules, to not do rules, safety tools, all that kind of thing. And it's good they talked about it, but everybody should have talked to them about this either separately or all together and try to reconcile things and have a two-way conversation, not just here's a list of bad things, go deal with it. That's not what we do. That is very painful, and I can understand why you'd be upset for weeks afterwards. I would too, especially when you were trying so hard to be friends with these people and enjoy yourself and be an extrovert for one time, and going out with them, actually having fun with them outside of D&D is a huge step for someone who's socially shy, just like me. Why do you think I do this? You saw your problems and you tried to fix them. And now you are really seeing that what happened. And I do deeply apologize that you have to find out this way. And also they couldn't, I guess what I could say in the best sense, they couldn't be grown-ups and tell you about it. Because I'm sorry, being an introvert like myself, I even understand that talking about things is what we were supposed to do to understand. And as a demisexual person too, no one can just read minds and understand things. You have to communicate. That's what D&D is all about, is communication. I know it's all my fault, and years later, I managed to make peace with that. I just wish that someone had come up and told me how I was annoying them. I would have cut that shit out in an instant. I hold no ill will towards anyone in the group. Like I said, this was my fault for making such a horrible lapse in judgment. I had a throwaway post. I had made a throwaway to post this because I just wanted to get this off my chest and not looking for attention. All I can say is please, please communicate. If a player seems malicious, they might just be clueless. I should have communicated my own problems too. I haven't played since. What do you all think? Is there a road to redemption for me? Can I ship up and try again? Was it the setting, or do I just not like D&D combat mechanics? Do I just roleplay, but without actual LARPing? That was it. That was the story. OP, you did what everybody does as an introvert. You don't talk. You stay hidden inside and try to expand where you can, where you feel comfortable. And that's a huge thing, is feeling comfortable is a scary thing. Now, You, yes, you noticed your mistakes and noticed like your flaws, and that's good. That is good for growth, and I'm glad that you can finally let this out, and have people understand how you were feeling in this moment and now. And yes, I have to say that your friends didn't help you either because they kept things bottled up as well and never told you about it, but communicated to everybody else but you. And that's not good. You have to understand that people need communication. They have to understand it. And I'm so truly glad that you were able to look inside yourself and realize what happened. But that being said, guys, I appreciate all you guys for stopping in. Remember to be safe, and the your strongest power of all power scaling whatsoever is the power to say no. Farewell, be safe, and enjoy my forest hovel.